We live in a world where our lives are mediated by technology. But do you ever think about how technology infiltrates and shapes the most personal, intimate, and private aspects of our lives? We use medical technologies to control our reproductive capabilities, to generate arousal, and to change our biological responses to how we experience touch and taste. We use digital technologies to send dirty photos and videos to our lovers and strangers. We have even advanced our mechanical technologies that in some parts of the world, there are now sex bot brothels open for business. Yet our use of these technologies may not be without consequences. Drugs like Viagra, which are so commonplace for enhancing sexual experience. Is this universally a good thing? Does it place pressure on men? Do people take unnecessary risks with their health? When we send dirty photos of ourselves to someone else, who ultimately owns that photo and the data? Us? The app we use? The person we send it to? If we use robots with AI technology for sexual pleasure, at what point do we need to think about consent, connection, and intimacy? As technology rapidly shifts and alters how we communicate and engage with each other in sexual and intimate ways, we need to step back and ask ourselves these three key questions. How are these technologies transforming how we experience and enact sex? What are the gaps in current legal and policy frameworks that might be required to respond to emerging problems or risks related to technology and sex? And what is the capacity for these technologies to improve our emotional and physical well-being by enhancing our sexual intimacy and connection? And in particular, what does this mean for people with disabilities, older people, and people who experience barriers in meeting and connecting with others? And from all these questions, why should we care? Well, for example, we know that young people sext, and yet until very recently, many under the age of 18 in Australia and elsewhere were prosecuted under child pornography laws when they sent photos to each other. The application of the law in this circumstance lacked a nuanced understanding of how technology was being used. And smart sex toys that can connect through our phones are increasingly becoming popular, and yet companies such as WeVibe and Lush, which produce vibrators, have been sued for tracking users' data through the use of their Bluetooth-connected toys. Data including email addresses, body temperature, time of use, and vibration intensity. In the future, there is potential for these Bluetooth sex toys to be hacked, raising questions about sexual assault. And we see this retrospectively, but culture and law took, or they're taking, a long time to catch up. And we know that more of these cases will emerge given the rapid development and uptake of new technologies. TechSex, a three-part ARC discovery project, aims to answer these questions. By exploring the role that digital, medical, and mechanical technologies have in the intimate and private lives of Australians, this project aims to build a bridge between how we might use technology and think more carefully about its social and legal benefits and implications. We will run a national survey looking at what people are doing, using, and how they feel about it. We will conduct qualitative case studies to explore the rich experiences of people's specific use of digital, medical, and mechanical technologies. And we will map current case law as well as relevant regulatory and legal frameworks such as consumer law, data privacy, and consent to identify limitations in their capacity to respond to emerging problems. This is to give community, law, and policymakers and educators a heads up and a better understanding of these three key things. What technologies people are using and why? What are the risks that we haven't even thought about? And what's working or helping people to better enhance their sex and emotional lives. Sex and intimacy is a fundamental part of the human experience. It is something that affects everyone. And what we are going to do with this project is hack into the future of sex.